I was on heroin. So then I'm like, guys, let's go to the pool. So we go to the pool, but our school pool, and next thing I know, I'm doing heroin.
Oh wow, dude.
Dude, do you think the cat did heroin?
This is now a meme.
So then we're doing heroin.
A poet about Forsen.
Oh wow.
I'm doing heroin! Forsen is life. Forsen's hair looks very nice. Forsen is sexy. And he rock. I just wanna suck his
Next thing I know, I'm
Swedish
doing heroin.
meatballs.
And then I'm doing heroin!
He did not have been on here.
Next thing I know, I tried
Where's the
Alzheimer's,
seal?
and then the next thing I know,
I'm doing heroin!
Grenade out. Grenade out.
Oh yeah, so I was doing heroin at the club.
Well met.
What is the song?
It's heroin.
It's the Roots Storm by Next Thing I Know I'm Doing Heroin.
I knew it.
Don't do heroin, guys. I'm just saying. I don't want to make this video, but you guys just wanted me to make it so much.
So you guys liked the shit out of the last video, and it was about heroin. So this one's about heroin.
Shut the fuck up.
So anyway,
Whoa, we got a large one over here.
So here's the story. Please don't like this video, guys. Please don't like it, okay? I'm doing heroin. Next thing I know, I'm doing heroin. Next thing I know, I'm seeing Stitch. I'm seeing Stitch in my house, and he's saying, "Ahana means family."
Throwing a grenade.
He's saying that to me, and then I'm like, "Yo, Stitch, what are you doing to my house?" And he's like, "You wanna do some heroin?"
Grenade out.
Next thing I know, I'm doing heroin with Stitch.
Grenade out. Throwing a grenade.
Wait, I'm confused. Did he like upload a video recently about heroin?
No. I make it a joke.
Oh.
Next thing I know, I'm doing heroin.
What if heroin does you?
Next thing I know, me and Pink Guy taking up the ass by heroin.
Don't you dare.
Next thing I know, me and Pink Guy.
Again, please.
You know, next thing I know, I'm just a Dover kid.
I'm getting leukemia for listening to it.
I wanna be Pikachu! Next thing I know, I'm doing heroin. Next thing I know, I'm doing heroin.
What's Leafy?
It's Mr. Sullivan. Mike Wazowski. Next thing I know, I'm doing heroin.
You know what's funny? I have a friend. I have a sibling that can do Raz's voice from Monsters Inc. Like very accurate.
Next thing I know, I'm doing heroin.
Again. It's been the 6th time this week. You need to stop.
And I'm doing heroin again, you know, just like in my garage up in the Hollywood Hills in my Lamborghini.
Grenade out. Grenade out.
Next thing I know, I'm doing heroin.
The server is so dead.
This server is so heroin.
It's so done. Like, there's no
And then the next thing I know, the server's doing heroin.
It's hard to get a level.
Grenade. Throwing a grenade. Grenade out.
What happened to the autism?
Guys, the admin's on. Everyone stop.
So next thing I know, I'm doing heroin.
Next thing I know, I contract Alzheimer's. I'm doing
The
heroin.
admin's on.
Next thing I know, I'm doing Alzheimer's and contracting heroin.
Next thing.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow, so the person.
Next thing I know, me and the admin are doing heroin.
Yeah, you're doing heroin.
Oh yeah.
Cold bad, I swear. It was not like this when I left it.
Yeah, we left it. Okay, so
We left to play Club Penguin for a bit, and then we came back to this.
I left to go do some heroin real quick, but then I came back to this.
And then you know, I'm doing heroin.
Again.
In my garage with my Lamborghini with my 17 bookshelf I had to get installed for over 1,000 books. And then the next thing I know, the bookshelves are doing heroin in my Lamborghini up in the Hollywood Hills in my garage. But it's not about that, it's about the knowledge. And then the next thing I know, the knowledge is doing heroin.
So you guys can hear yourself.
Next thing I know, brother, I'm doing heroin, brother.
You guys need to hear yourself, honestly.
Next thing you know, brother, I'm doing brother heroin, brother.
Next thing I know, I'm doing my brother.
Grenade.
Next thing you know, I'm doing heroin, my
father, brother. Hey,
I'm doing brother in my heroin.
Coco, this is what happens when everybody's doing heroin.
This is your brain on heroin. Because the next thing you know, I'm doing heroin. And your brain's doing heroin. And then I'm doing it in my garage, my Lamborghini. And Michael Jordan was here.
Michael Jordan and I did a lot of heroin back in grade school.
And then my parents like, hey, yo, dude, I got a prescription for heroin. So I'm like, oh yeah, boy, hit me the fuck up with that shit. So he's like, alright, man. So he hooks me up with the good kush. And then, the next thing you know, I'm toking the shit out of it. And then, you know, I just playing like 10 Counter-Strike matches at once. You know, just wrecking out, you know, like, I was like, you know, these professional guys must do heroin all the time.
Little Calvin gets nudes, and then Michael Jordan's like, yo.
Next thing I know, I'm doing heroin.
Okay, honestly, guys, next thing I know, I'm doing heroin.
Oh man.
Next thing I know, I'm doing heroin.
This is gonna make like the best episode. This is gonna be episode 2. What should it be called?
Next thing I know, I'm doing heroin.
He does heroin in his garage, the Lamborghini, and the 12 bookshelf he had to get installed for over 1,000 bucks. Only $19.95 right now for maximum blue tax to come here out and rape your fucking nigger cock.
Oh yeah, pork steak, mate.
Yeah.
You want some Outback steak, sirloin Angus beef for only $10.99. $10.99 Angus beef at Outback Steakhouse. Outback Steakhouse. Outback Steakhouse, $10.99 sirloin steak.
Oh yeah, Mr. Krabs. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, Mr. Krabs.
Mr. Krabs. Are you feeling it now, Mr. Krabs?
Yeah, Mr. Krabs.
$10.89 Angus steak.
I'm gonna go back to
somebody help me. Good.
Grenade.
That was funny. Gary's mod's more peaceful than this.
Next thing
So
I
I
know,
was
I'm
hanging
doing
out with John
heroin.
Cena the other day, and the next thing I know, he RKO'd
doing
me and we were both
heroin.
doing heroin.
Oh my.
But I'm not saying do heroin, guys. I'm just saying, like, if you want to do heroin, like, totally just go and do heroin. So anyway, you know, I'm in my garage with John Cena, and I'm doing heroin, and then Michael Jordan's there. I'm like, hey, Michael Jordan, yo, you want to do some of this heroin? So, you know, he's like, okay, yeah, sure, I'll do some heroin. So, now we're all doing heroin, but they're like, wait, who's gonna be the spotter? So then Austin, aka Lutna, he comes in, he's like, hey guys, you know, I could be your spotter, and we're like, cool, man. So, you know, we're all just doing heroin, except for him. He was just totally sober, you know, he was recording the whole thing, so I'm just seeing pictures and everything. And then, you know, next thing I know, I have Alzheimer's. So I'm like, hey, where am I now? And they're like, you're doing heroin, and I'm like, cool. And then, you know,
who's gonna be the spotter?
And next
and
thing
then,
I
you
know,
know, the next thing I know, I'm doing the heroin, and the grenade's out. And then the grenade's doing heroin.
And then the next thing I know, I'm doing heroin.
And the next thing I know, I'm taking this shit while doing heroin, and then injecting this shit into my veins like heroin.
Wow.
And then, you know, like, I just, like, got some, like, crack.
Okay,
I just
guys.
snorted all the crack.
No, stop. Real talk, I'm gonna tell you guys a real story. So I took a
Next thing I
shit.
know, I'm doing heroin.
So I took a shit, and then I freezed it. And then I took the frozen shit, went outside, stabbed the guy, and then fucked the hole that I stabbed the guy with the shit, frozen shit that I took. I fucking
Next thing I know, I'm doing heroin.
And then after that, the next thing I know, I'm doing heroin. So, I
And
met...
then the next thing you know, I'm just throwing a grenade.
No, so then I met FoozyTube, and the next thing I know, I'm doing heroin.
And then the next thing I know, I was in a huge prank show, and all the heroin was just Kool-Aid.
And then he's like, it's a prank, but it was too late, I was on heroin.
Are we having story time again on this?
Yeah, we're having story time, you're a
You're
piece
too
of
young to be
shit.
on this server.
This is big boy server. You gotta be
Yeah, you're
15 or
way too
older.
young to be on the server.
Oh, honey means family, so let's do some heroin.
And I'm over here, you know, I'm with Stitch, John Cena, Michael Jordan, and we're all doing heroin. And then, you know, one guy's like, hey guys, you wanna do some crack? So I'm like, oh yeah, bro, hit me up with that. So we just get a coke bomb, you know, we just make a really quick bong, and then we just smoke the crack, you know. So, you know, I'm feeling real good, you know, I'm feeling real hype. So, you know, we're just doing all the heroin, and then, you know, like, it wore off. I was playing like 4 Counter-Strike matches. So, you know, afterward, I just like go to bed, and I like, people say, oh, you're supposed to get depressed after you do it all, but I just went to bed, so I like just cheated out of it.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you guys what the time I got fisted, so I got fisted, and then they were like, oh!
You went fisted while you're doing heroin? Oh my god.
Next thing I know, I'm doing heroin. And then the dinosaur
Next thing I know, I'm fisting while doing heroin while fisting my ass.
Okay, guys,
ready? Doing heroin at the same time with both fists.
3. Next thing I know, I'm doing heroin.
And then, you know, I'm doing heroin in my garage with my Lamborghinis.
Next thing you know, I am heroin.
Oh wow, next level.
And then I'm going on saying, I am the Dovakin heroin, and they're like, no you're not.
Puberty.
What?
Then my cat died.
Next thing you know, I'm tickling my pickle, then heroin shoots out. And then I get a nickel.
Heroin shot out of your pickle.
Heroin shot out of my peenie.
It happens when you're older. You'll learn
Guys,
about it in high
my
school.
pee-pee hurts. Should I go tell my mommy?
No. Hey, did you guys get your flu shots? Because I think all of you have autism.
No, I actually don't believe
Did you
in
get your
stuff.
autism?
I got my
I'm
heroin
pretty
shot.
sure you have autism.
Guys, I got accepted into this cool class in my high school where it's called special ed.
This is the biggest meme ever on the internet. This is overcoming, you know, this is overcoming the meme master. This is better than Success Kid. It's got like Brian, Lennyface, and everything.
No, you're mean. No, you're mean. Next thing you know, I'm doing heroin.
Next thing I know, I'm doing heroin.
Oh my, stop. Please.
Next thing you know, I'm injecting memes while looking at heroin.
Guys,
So the next thing I know, I'm doing heroin.
Guys, I'm recording.
So you don't know, a 10-year-old Calvin here, he didn't know what porn was. He just looked up the pictures of
I
heroin.
know, I'm doing heroin.
And then his peepee just feels real
And then he's
funny.
like,
Just
Calvin,
because he's
I
looking
don't
up
know
all
how
the
to do
heroin.
Just remember, guys, the person who made the meme,
Funny.
the person who made the meme, next thing I know I'm doing heroin, is lost in space, okay? So don't even spread shit.
Next thing I know, I have autism.
Next thing I know, I have autism and I'm injecting heroin in my autism veins. And I'm like,
Next thing I know, I'm taking my flu shots, and then the lady's like, this is heroin.
Then that's how I got doing heroin.
Just saying it's a prank, bro.
You guys are weird.
You're on heroin.
You guys are weird.
I can't
Because you're
tell.
insane.
I can't tell if this is a little boy
Next
or
thing you know,
Lily
my weird is
Pichu.
doing heroin on top of me doing heroin, so I'm like, whoa.
Pikachu.
We're not
Holy
crazy,
shit,
we're
that
on
was
I know
heroin.
my
cringy as
Pikachu
fuck.
was doing heroin.
This kid.
Next thing you know, my 3-year-old daughter's just sitting there
Next
doing
thing
heroin.
next thing I know, I'm seeing dolphins and Angelina Jolie and Lilo and Stitch, and he's
Next
just
thing
like,
you know, I adopted 3 heroines.
Next thing you know, some random joke about heroin.
Next thing you know, I just get heroin for Christmas.
It's funny because it's a
next thing I
drug.
know, I'm doing heroin.
Why are
Dude,
you
heroin
so...
isn't a
Next thing you
drug.
know, my
What's
kids were
wrong
getting
with
really
you?
good grades, so
Why
I
you
bought
so
them
Heroin's just a medicine, dude.
Heroin isn't a drug, it's a plant. You can plant heroin.
Yeah, you
Guys,
smelly poop
that
hole.
was
I have a heroin tree in my backyard.
I was gonna make a clan,
You can plant
but I
heroin,
didn't
so it's
think
not
of
a
name.
drug.
So I was
Like,
gonna